When I started blogging, I just launched into something I don't remember. But in the book, I had recently reviewed the book about James Strang, and the wonderful writer who wrote that started off with action that happened later in the life of Strang, actually how he was killed. And I thought, ooh, I'm going to copy that. What can I put at the beginning of my book that's chock full of action? And so I put a scene from an event that I place on the 31st of March of 1844. According to a fellow who at the time had been a teenager, but at the time of recounting was a slightly older man. He had been invited to a meeting where a couple hundred people were plotting against Joseph. And in a series of 3 meetings across 3 weeks, it went from Joseph is a terrible guy to we really need to do something about this to we need to kill Joseph. And they had told Joseph that these meetings were happening, he and his buddy. And Joseph had said, if you're willing, go participate in these meetings. It'll be dangerous, but I don't think they'll kill you, I hope. But by the third evening, when this young fellow refused to swear that he was going to kill Joseph or participate in the conspiracy to kill Joseph, he came pretty close to getting hurt. But ultimately, they decided to let him go. His name was, let's see, one of them was Robert. I think Robert is the one who didn't go west with the Saints. The other was Denison Harris. And he is the one that was telling the story. And at the end of this whole thing, after the boys had escaped and they're talking with Joseph about what they'd heard and what was happening, Joseph said, they accuse me of polygamy and of being a false prophet, but I am no false prophet. I am no imposter. I have no dark revelations. I have had no revelations from the devil. I made no revelations. I've got nothing up of myself. The same God who has thus far directed me and strengthened me in this work gave me this revelation and commandment on celestial and plural marriage. That same God commanded me to obey it. He said unless I accepted it and introduced it and practiced it, I and my people would be damned and cut off from this time hence. There are those who say if I do so, I will be killed. What am I to do? If I do not practice plural marriage, I shall be damned along with my people. If I teach it and urge it and practice it, they say I will be killed. And I know they are right. But we have got to observe it. It's an internal principle. It is given by way of commandment, not merely by way of instruction. And less than 3 months later, Joseph, in fact, was dead. I thought that was a rather punchy way to start off the book.